All right. Well, I'm excited because we're going to be talking about a subject that I heard years ago was dead because everything in the entrepreneurship space, if you didn't start it 5 years ago, you don't have a chance. And so my guest here is going to prove that to be completely wrong. So I am excited to have a friendly e-commerce seller on named Lester Love. So Lester, first off, thank you
Hey,
for joining us.
thank you for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. So let's just get it out there. So a lot of the content I put out is Amazon focused, but
Mhm.
at the end of the day, this is the maximizing e-commerce channel. And so I do want people to be able to maximize everything. So, you're in a business model where you don't buy inventory up front. So can you describe your business model just so folks have a little bit of background?
All right, so that is dropshipping. And
Okay.
basically, what happens is you find a product, you build a store on the product or a set of products, and you advertise, promote the product. And the only time that you make a purchase of that product is when the customer buys from you. And so you have your markup on the original cost. So, say a product costs, say, about $10, you could sell it for 2.5 to maybe five times the original cost of goods. And
Okay.
so a customer buys from you, and then you buy from the supplier, and you just take the profits.
Got it. Got it. So you're doing this on your own website, or are you doing this on, say, Amazon or marketplaces like that?
On my own website, so Shopify actually enables you to do this easily. So if you have a product idea, just go on Shopify and you build a store quickly. Or if you don't want to go that route of building multiple stores, you could have like a general store in
Mhm.
which you test different products on there, and you find a winner and maybe transition it over to a single store and brand it completely.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. Well, we'll get more into the nuts and bolts here in a minute. But before we do that, just help everybody get a little bit of context in this. So how long you been in this game and how did you get into it?
So it's been over a year now,
Okay.
and I was around the start of the whole pandemic going on,
Hmm.
and so I wanted to do something different because I was constantly getting tired of having to go back and forth to work. I wanted something that I could say that I did this, I
Hmm.
was able to do it, and when I got a hold of dropshipping, it just came naturally to me. Yeah.
Got okay, okay. So what made you decide to do drop shipping as opposed to um, Amazon FBA, for example? Because I'm sure a lot of listeners on this channel are probably wondering why did he go that route?
So uh, I even before the whole Amazon, before drop shipping, I
Hmm.
tried get into different entrepreneurial ventures in the e-com space, and I think I mentioned one time that I tried building a marketplace, and one of the issues, the challenging part of it was having inventory. So in switching over, coming over to drop shipping, and also seeing Amazon FBA, that thought
Okay,
of inventory was like a no-no, so it's a
got
no-go
it.
for me. So yeah.
Okay, so
So I
let's unpack that here for a moment. So you decided you wanted to create your own marketplace. Was it going to be
yes.
an everything A to Z marketplace, or like what was it? Is it going to be a little bit more niche? Like what was kind of your vision with that?
So I am originally from Ghana,
Okay.
and I moved to Canada, and so it was more ethnic focus. So on the African side of things, so West African clothing,
Okay.
necklaces, stuff like that. And I wanted to be able to bring vendors on board from these, from Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, all these places to connect them to we who are in diaspora. And so that was a vision I had for it.
Uh-huh.
And uh, there's AliExpress, which is like for the Chinese space. There is Amazon, which is more North American focused. And so I
Uh-huh.
wanted to build that one that is like, yes, if you go to Africa, you
Okay.
know that there is this giant on there that you can shop from. So that was a whole vision that I had for it. But there are a lot of challenges in terms of shipping costs because it's kind of like expensive uh, moving products from Ghana to Canada or Ghana to the States. And you have DHL, FedEx, and they're all charging premium fees to have them move those products within the fastest or shortest possible time. So that was like one of the things. That the other option was to buy the products in bulk and
Mm.
house them but then that was also tricky because you don't know how fast the product will go. and
Right.
tested them to know. Yeah, so that was the vision I had for it, to become that one place where if you think of an African product, you can go on there to find.
Okay, got it. So basically, it was not necessarily for people in Africa, if I understand it, but more
No,
folks like yourself who, maybe they remember something growing up and they
yeah,
want to buy it. So you're looking at, customers in Canada and US and other countries where people have expatriated to. Is that a fair statement?
yes. So
Okay.
even for some of the outfits I used to wear at the time, they're like super tailored custom fits. Non-Africans would see, so Canadians would see it and be like, "Oh, I like this. Where can I get it?" And there is not a place for it.
Got it. Got it. So you're trying to fill a hole in the market, but then you saw that there was creating a marketplace isn't as easy as it sounds.
It's not.
Okay, got it.
It's not.
So for all the Amazon folks listening, that's definitely, as much as we complain sometimes about Amazon, like they've created like basically the interstate highway system, and we're complaining about like sometimes we don't like the rest stop or something. So is everyone in Amazon has their love-hate relationship with Amazon. So Amazon, if you're listening, I love you guys. So anyway, so let's talk a little bit more about, okay, so you started to explore this route. Now, had you pulled the trigger, so to speak, and gotten product and gotten relationships, or you were more in kind of like the evaluating phase?
Sorry, come again.
So did you actually like list products for sale and try to bring traffic to people to buy these African goods, or is it more you were like looking into it?
So I started off with one product. It's called the dashiki, and that was our first product and was going to be like our main product.
Okay,
And
what's a dashiki? Just
from
so everyone understands.
it's a colorful print fabric with a lot of
Okay.
designs on it,
Mhm.
and it's actually good for the summers, the
Oh,
summer
okay.
times, because yeah, it's able to reflect the sunlight, and
Okay.
yeah, gets you free lots of aeration.
Oh,
So
nice.
that was our first product, and we actually like sold out within the first 1 week, 24 hours to 1 week of
Oh, wow.
yeah, we didn't
And
have a
this
lot
is on
in.
your own website?
Yeah, this was on my own website.
No, is this just
And
viral traffic?
uh local traffic.
Were
So
you driving the traffic there, like hustling to get people there, basically?
yes,
Or
so
okay.
I posted on Instagram, "Hey, it's live now. Tell your friend, tell your friend, tell your friend, tell your friend."
Right,
So
right, right.
word of mouth, and yeah, we sold out everything. So that was going to be our main product, and so we then decided, okay, how do we get more products now, to
Mm-hmm.
because we bought those from the States. There was a store in the States that had them, and so we bought like a limited quantity, and then
Just to
tested
kind
it
of test
out.
it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
and so after that, we went to buy more, and we got a whole bunch of other things because this worked, and that's when we started having challenges in getting rid of the other stuff, because
Got it.
they
So
were
the
nuts.
next products didn't sell quite the
Yeah, they
same
didn't
way as the
sell quite
first
the
one.
same. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So
So you're starting to see like there's some inventory logistical challenges. And then
yeah.
if you had gone the route of like Amazon and eBay and create a marketplace in the sense of like having third party sellers, had you thought
Yeah.
about that? Or is that just too many logistics for a fledgling young startup?
So that was also a different route that we explored.
Okay.
And the problem with having so we tried third parties in Canada, and
Hmm.
most of them at the time were also like students, so they didn't like have an established business, or established business model to join and continue on there. And so we tried going, okay, let's connect directly with vendors in Ghana, Nigeria especially,
Okay.
and that was also a whole challenge. We got some of them signed up, but they were also not savvy enough with like the system, the platform, the listing products, and understanding how to take pictures to sell products, because you can't just put just any picture online and expect people to buy.
Right. Exactly. It has to look a
It has
certain
to be
way.
exactly. So there was also that challenge. So now we would have to train them on the platform, and it just got complex. So
Got it. Got it. Got it. So there wasn't really a lot of infrastructure behind the scenes, so to
Yes,
speak.
there wasn't. No.
Got it. So you'd have to do a lot of training to get people up to speak. So you just, if I'm understanding correctly, is this about the time that you decided to go more the drop shipping route?
Yes. So when the pandemic hit, I'm like, okay, this model we've tested different things out because right before the pandemic, we actually decided to go a different route of having pop-up shops, events, and then incorporate pop-up shops. So we did the first event, which was a success, and we were getting ready for the second event, which was going to be like a paint and sip and paint event with some of the products that we had from the previous times, in there as little pop shop. So the pandemic just changed everything. So we had to
so you couldn't liquidate the way you'd hoped. Okay.
Yeah, we couldn't. So I'm like, okay, how to do something else. And I went online, started searching. There was affiliate marketing, there was drop shipping, there was Amazon FBA, there were all of those. And the key thing, for example, affiliate marketing, you still have to find a way to drive traffic to get the products to be sold.
Right.
And yeah, so it's not as lucrative as it's made to be on YouTube. So yeah, I decided
you just put links out there and people just click it and buy because it's a random link on the internet, and that's what people do.
Exactly.
Right.
So I looked at dropshipping, studied everything, and it was just like I don't have to do so much in terms of worrying about logistics. I don't have to do so much. I thought I don't have to do so much in marketing, but I realized that the bulk of the game isn't really in marketing, but in setting up the store and all of that is like a straightforward process.
Gotcha. Okay. So what's interesting is I started like just kind of being one of those lurkers who listens to podcasts like Smart Passive Income from Pat Flynn and some other entrepreneurial podcasts back in, like, let's say 2011, so almost 10 years ago, years before I got into the actual doing something, like maybe like 3-4 years of just listening before I actually started taking action on things. And one of the things that kept coming up about drop shipping was, drop shipping's dead. Drop shipping's dead. This is like 11 and 12, 13 that people are saying that. So first off, for people listening, is drop shipping dead?
No, absolutely not.
Okay.
And this is why I say that people are always going to look out to buy products. There's always a new product coming out, and there's always somebody looking to buy a product. And there's always going to be a middleman somewhere trying to promote these products. Dropshipping is just one way where we do it. You do it through Amazon FBA, but that's also a different means. And it's as long as it's a consumer and as long as it's a product, I don't see this dying out. And the whole transition to e-commerce platforms now, I think it even makes it more lucrative.
Okay, gotcha. So how do you know what to sell? This is the number one question people have, whether it's Amazon or drop shipping or whatever, and people will sometimes spend years researching and never find anything, so to speak. So how did you, in a relatively short period of time, find stuff to sell for drop shipping?
The name of the game is testing. That's what I came to realize. Okay. So I have a framework for choosing products. So the first thing that I look out for in product is, does it solve a problem, or does it have a wow factor, or does it have a combination of both? So that's the first step. Now, the second step is I make sure it's selling, averaging at least 50 orders a day on AliExpress. That's if it's a trending product. There are pioneer products that are not really trending at the moment because people have not picked it up to try and sell. So if I'm going with our pioneer product, and I look at, a less number in terms of order volumes, but for trending product, I just make sure that the product is averaging at least 50 orders a day on AliExpress. And the final thing is I try to make sure that this product is not easily available in local stores, because if it's found in stores and I advertise, then people are obviously going to go to their local store and make the purchase, and it's a loss for me, but a win for them and a win for that local store. So that is the framework that I use. And honestly, you have to test lots of products. Some people find their winners in testing their first, others find in like 11, some 30. There isn't like a straightforward number to how many times you need to test to find a within product because it differs for different people depending on the kind of niche you're also going into, and yeah, all those little variables in
Okay,
there.
so let's unpack that a little bit. So you're getting your products from AliExpress primarily, or you did that to start?
I did that to start.
Okay, got it. So just to get the ball rolling, did you pick a niche, or did you say I'm going to go kind of wide and try everything?
I started with a niche and
Okay.
it flopped terribly.
Really? Okay.
uh, it's the adult niche.
Oh, gotcha. Because you can't
You
run
can't advertise.
paid
Nope.
traffic. Okay, got it. Got it.
Nope. And I could see the product like trending so much. I'm like, okay, I need to find a way. So I actually tried, going around Facebook systems, trying, I think Facebook calls it circumventing the system
Oh yeah, they
and
don't like
to
that.
try and get it advertised. And it never worked. And I tried influencer marketing, but I was kind of like ashamed because I was
Right,
using
right,
my
right, right, right.
personal
Who are the people
profile
you're working with
to
there? I'm sure they're nice people,
exactly.
but still.
So yeah, so yeah, I just killed that. I killed that off immediately.
Got it. Got it. So you decided to go a different route with that. Okay.
I decided to go to yeah.
Yeah. So okay. So for one, make sure it's something you can actually advertise. And I'm
Yeah.
imagining, as much as people do well with supplements on Amazon, supplements might be kind of harder because don't a lot of ad networks make it hard to sell supplements?
Okay.
Is that
I
true, or am
think
I making that up? Or is that just a Facebook thing?
I think as long as it's related to like the health space, fitness, I mean, a subsection of the fitness and health space is gonna be hard because there are a lot of restrictions on Facebook's end, yeah, for advertising.
Got it. So you've started off on AliExpress and then you found other places. So AliExpress, it sounds like there's data hiding in plain sight, so to speak.
Yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it. Because with Amazon, it's kind of the same thing where there's tools like Jungle Scout and Helium 10 that people use to do product research. So are there tools that you use for AliExpress, or is it just like sorting and filtering and searching?
AliExpress has a whole section dedicated to finding trending products, and that's the AliExpress Dropshipping Center. So on there, you get to filter out and see what is moving. It's almost like the movers and shakers section for Amazon. And so they have that whole section where you get to see top products. And they recently came up with the Ali Hunter. So it's a Chrome extension tool where you get to filter right in AliExpress. You get to see what is trending in whatever niche you're in. And there is a different tool that you can also use to, see your see order volumes per day. And with Ali Hunter, you also get to see what kind of stores are also selling the particular product that you're looking at. So yeah, those are tools that you can use. Yeah.
Okay, got it. So you can do some research and probably if you find, does it tell you like the actual store that's selling it, like lesterstuff.com?
Yeah, like it gives you the URLs. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Got it. So then you could go to those stores and then you could also look at like, I'm assuming with Shopify, I think on my store, it's been a long time since I've tried to do this, that you can sort by most popular, right?
Yes, you can sort by most popular, and sometimes some stores decide to use apps that block that filtering system.
Right.
So you could enter it in the URL. There is a code that you could just enter into the URL and it displays all the best sellers. And if they're if they're advertising on Facebook, there's also a cool way you could use the Facebook. There is a section on Facebook where you can actually see what people are advertising or what brands are advertising. And so if they're spending if they're spending money on a product, then clearly that product is doing well for them. So the initial product you may have seen on AliExpress that brought you there may not even be the product they are testing or spending money on. So you could find a winner in what they are currently, advertising.
Got it. Okay. So there's ways of finding these products and then going back to the people selling them. Now, do you have trouble maybe is the wrong word, but do you ever get any friction trying to set up accounts with some of these companies, or are they for the most part just like, sure?
It's just straightforward.
Got it.
AliExpress straightforward. I use CJ dropshipping for it's also similar to AliExpress but with faster shipping times, and
Uh-huh.
it's also like a straightforward process. And setting up a Shopify account is also straightforward and easy. The only thing is when you start making money, lots of money, then you have to verify your account. You have to send in your ID, stuff like that.
Oh,
And
gotcha, gotcha. On
yeah,
AliExpress and
on
Shopify both, or
Shopify mainly.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
got it. So there are some verifications. Amazon does the same thing with sellers in a lot of cases, especially in Europe and stuff like that.
Okay.
And lately, there, as I recorded this, the big thing is they're starting to require insurance requirements, which they had always had the requirements, but they never enforced it. And now they're starting to send out emails like, "We want a copy of your policy."
Wow.
So I'll just call my agent and say, "Can I get a copy of the policy to send to Amazon?" But there's people freaking out because they don't have a insurance policy right now. So okay, so there's verification and things like that. So I mean, operate as a real business, just like you would do, if you're selling on Amazon. So,
Yeah.
so there's ways of finding these products. Now, are these products coming mainly from like, China, or are they coming from within the US and or Canada?
For me, I do direct from China,
Okay.
but yeah, you could use a 3PL system, or you could move it into the States and fulfill from there. But I just like to keep things simple for myself.
Okay. So if you moved it into the States, is the issue that you'd be buying the inventory?
Yes.
Okay, got it. So you're essentially buying the inventory when the sale is made. So
Yes.
do you call them and say, "Hey, I have a sale," or do you email them, or is there software extensions
I
that do all
think
that?
there is a software. There is software that integrates everything. So on Shopify, there are apps. So for example, using CJ dropshipping, or even using AliExpress, because lots of people use AliExpress. There is an Orbelu app. So Orbelu syncs all orders on your store to
What
the
was the name of the
supplier.
app?
Orbelu. So
Orbital.
Ober, yeah, L. So syncs everything together, and once you have an order, syncs the orders to the suppliers in, and you get to fulfill, and sends an automatic email confirmation to the customer on your end, because your
Oh,
webhooks. Yeah. So yes, it's seamless. Yeah, there are apps that make it
okay.
work.
So you don't have to be the one to say, "Okay, here's the order," and I pull the order. Like
You There is work on your end because you have to place the order to them using the platform, using the softwares. So
oh,
using the
got it. So it,
Orbella,
it
yeah.
might set it up, and you still have to hit a button to approve it, essentially.
Yes, yeah.
So if,
And
if you wait a
complete
week,
payments.
it's going to take an extra week for the customer to get it.
True, if you're using AliExpress, it could take you 15 to 30 days.
Is it 15 to 30 days normally, or if you wait a week?
Normally.
Normally, okay.
Yeah.
Got it.
So that was how I transitioned from AliExpress to CJ
Okay.
dropshipping. Because when I started to see a lot of like success, a lot of orders coming in, then trying to scale, I started getting emails of where is my order, where is my order, where is
Oh,
my
I was
order.
about to ask that
So
question. Yeah. So like, if it's been like 20 days, people are
yeah,
used to Amazon Prime. And even when Amazon's slow, it's still like, 5-7 days. But
yeah,
usually they're within a day or two. So okay.
yeah, that
So
was a headache.
yeah, okay. So is CJ more local, or are they in China?
They're also in China, but they guarantee like 7 to 15 business days.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it. Now, is it more expensive doing it that way?
No, it's still about the same price,
Oh,
but shipping sometimes goes up. Yeah.
got it. So the shipping might cost more. Now, how does
Yep.
that work in that model? So that probably is a good
So
segue into the pricing. Like, how do you price this? Like, is shipping included in pricing? Do you take 2.5 to 5x the cost of goods sold? Like, how do you come up with your margins? Because I'm sure it's a different path to the
yeah.
math.
So sometimes I look at what other stores are selling their product for.
Okay.
And I also look at the design of my store. If it has
Okay.
a super branded feel, a premium luxury product kind of style,
Uh-huh.
then I can charge a lot more. But by default, I will, try 2.5 or 3x the cost of goods. So that is the cost of the product plus shipping. And then 3 times that. If I see that 3 times is too high for this particular product, I try and set a $20 margin so that at least $5 to $10 would cover my advertising cost, and $10 would be my profit.
Got it. Okay. So you're basically taking the cost of the goods and then going up. Yeah.
Yes.
So, because when it comes to fees, you don't have a 15% Amazon fee. You have basically a 3% Shopify processing
Payments.
payments fee. Yeah. Okay. Now, who picks up the shipping? Did I miss that there, or
there are options.
okay.
So you get to choose which you'd want. So on AliExpress, they have like the shipping options, the cheapest. They have some of the cheapest shipping options, but those come without tracking and could take up to like 60 days for the product to be delivered.
Got
Then it gets more costlier with track it and faster shipping times. But for some products, the highest it can go is like $4 to $5 shipping. And if it's a really heavy big item, then it can go up to 20 to 30 for the product.
Got it. So now that shipping fulfillment, is that
Yeah.
added on to the customer's price, or is that included in it?
It's included in the customer's price.
Got it. Now, do you give them the
Yeah.
option of upgrading for faster shipping?
No, but what I like to do is I include an option for premium insured shipping, and it doesn't do anything extra. It just gives me extra cash, more or less. But yeah, if I pick a shipping option, like I know guaranteed is gonna get you within this period of time, within this number of days. This is the shipping cost from the supplier, so I can do whatever like I want. Like
Okay, so but for the
So-
insured, like, is it more likely that if it got lost and like that you send them a new one? Like, how does that work?
Regardless of whether it got lost or not, I would most likely either refund them or send them a new one.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
So okay,
It's just for extra cash.
gotcha. So okay, so all right. So but are there options to be able to charge more?
In terms
Like,
of
sorry, to charge more for like if somebody wanted 3 days shipping or 5 day shipping instead of 7 to 21 day shipping, for example.
No, if you want to do, I mean, there is DHL, but DHL also guarantees like 7 business days instead of like 3. The only way to achieve like a 3 to 5 day shipping is for selling in the US, for example, is fulfilling from the US, directly from the US. So buying in bulk to the US and then using again the apps. So when you order, you fulfill and you get it within 3 days.
Got it. Okay. So let's walk through how you get people to your store. So, with Amazon, it's the people are there. You're just trying to get them to your listing. So here it's kind of more the grand scheme of things. Like, they're on the internet. You're just trying to get them to your store. So like with Facebook ads is a whole different beast than like Amazon sponsored product ads. So walk me through kind of like, how do you even do it?
So the first is after product is leading with a good creative.
Okay.
So that is getting, and usually I'd go with video creatives. Sometimes image creatives work. If a product is self-explanatory in the image, I'd most likely go with the image. If I have to do a lot of explaining, then I will do the video. And so there are services out there that can put up a video for you. So they take clips from different parts of the internet, put it together, get you a product, an ad video, and you go on to advertise on Facebook. And it's more interest targeting. So trying to find interest related to the product, and depending on the angle that you're approaching in terms of advertising this product. So if say I'm selling a pair of sunglasses, for example, or maybe mobile phone cases, because that was one of the products that I also did. And if it's fashionable, I'd probably like to target people interested in fashion, and rather than people interested in mobile phones. So it just depends on the angle. And then I don't know how much detail you want, but
Well, yeah, let's keep it simple and actionable. So
yeah,
static images, if it's something that's easy to understand. So like, for example,
yeah,
I've got this dry erase
yeah.
eraser. So that's pretty easy to understand. And I'm sure if, there's a picture of a dry erase board in the back. Now, if something that takes a little bit more work, like I know you said basically you get like B-roll footage and stuff like that. Do you send this company like the product and they do like a demo of it, or are they just pretty much for the most part using like, um, if it was beach related, they're showing people at the beach, and then like what might
So
the flow of a video look like? Just more curious.
uh, on YouTube, there are videos. So, for example, the whiteboard cleaner, there'd be videos on YouTube of people who are doing unboxing of this particular whiteboard cleaner and showing it. So they just, I don't want to use the word steal. They take sections of like 2 to 3 second clips from those videos and then put them together into a whole flow and be like, say something like, do you struggle with cleaning your whiteboard, for example, introducing this new whiteboard cleaner, does this, does that, lot of customers, a lot of happy customers, and then share some reviews, and we're offering 50% off our anniversary sale, and shop now, click to shop now. And so that is the whole video, but with
Got
different
it.
two to
So
three
what you're saying
clips.
is, if I'm understanding, you use fair use guidelines to repurpose unboxing videos, not the whole video, but like
Not
a
the whole
portion
video,
of
yeah.
it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Uh,
And then what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of tie together a story, so to speak, to
yes.
explain the product and then
Yeah.
get them to buy. Okay. So,
There is actually the other option of sending the product in where they have their own models, fill themselves using the product.
mhm.
And that is called user generated content, so UGC, and they tend to perform like a lot better than regular style video ads.
Got it. So it's kind of like
Yeah.
if you had gone to an influencer, so to speak, and say, hey, would you
Yes.
do an unboxing video? And then in that case, I know that there's a lot of people that do that, both
Yeah.
Amazon and not Amazon, where they go to an influencer and then, they usually work out an arrangement. Like, if we give you the product or pay you or whatever, will you give us, rights to use the entire video? So that
Yeah.
makes sense. I could see that performing really well. Now, is that more of like a bottom of funnel thing you would do, like, the kind of more testimonial things, or you do that more kind of like with colder traffic?
For me personally, I'd like to do it colder traffic. I know
Oh,
some
really?
people would do it at bottom of funnel,
Uh-huh.
but yeah, it all depends on how you tie it together.
Okay.
So you could introduce the product using like a combination of some of the clip online, like, and then you have your model talking about, the product and how it benefited them, and then show some sections again of a different, person using it, and then yeah, tie together in a unique way that captivates, draws the attention of the customer, makes them purchase.
Okay, got it. So either way, you got some sort of, I'm assuming it's not all you're expecting to be 100% profitable when you first turn on with just one ad. Are you
No.
kind of like moving down the funnel, so to speak? Like, do you have multi steps, like people who saw this then go to that?
Yes. So there is the first step is interest targeting,
Okay.
which apparently Facebook is going to change. So
Oh,
interest
really?
targeting, yeah. So you test out like 10 different interests,
Okay.
depending on the strategy I want to use. And say after the 10 interest, you run it for like a couple of days, you get a certain number of clicks, page visits, add to cart, then you can start purchases, which is the most important.
Mhm.
Then you can start with retargeting campaigns to retarget people that visited but didn't take an action. And then, you could start with lookalikes, which is targeting people that are similar interest to the people that visited your store. And I also like set up email sequences. So to capture leads,
Mhm.
so I could send them offers through email as well.
Got it. So your goal, and this is something Amazon sellers can't do, is to get the customer so that you have data. So this person who's interested in dry erase markers might also be interested in calculators. Only
Yes.
using these examples because they're in
Yeah.
front of me. Okay, so you're trying to sell them on the back end and basically create a lifetime value of the customer. Now, is your
Yeah.
goal to break even, to lose a little bit, or are you profitable overall with your campaigns?
In the first few days, I mean, you're just either breaking even or losing.
Okay.
Yeah. In the first few days, it's bound to happen. So you should be ready to accept that. If you can accept that, then I don't think you should enter the dropshipping game, because the bulk of the work is really in advertising. And so you need to be patient, understand the numbers, see which campaigns, which assets are working, which assets are not working, make rational decisions, kill the ones that are not working, um, duplicate or increase the budget on what is working, and yeah, scale on from there. So sometimes like you could lose up to 500. I'm gonna lie, you could lose up to like $500 testing a single product. And yeah, and you have to make sure you're not emotionally attached to the product, because if you're emotionally attached to the product, which there was one time you would lose a whole lot. Things are not working out, but you believe so much in the product that you ignore the numbers. Meanwhile, you are to look at the numbers and make the right calls.
Got it. So at the end of the day, you know that you need to get a certain number of numbers to work out, and you got to know kind of the long term of it, the short term of it. But at the same time too, you got to kind of lose a little bit sometimes in the beginning. So what would be a budget you would start with per day for a new product?
I would do $5 ad sets for 10 ad sets. So that would be
so about
$50 a day. Yeah.
Okay. So in these different ad sets, you're trying different creatives, different images, different videos. Is that how it's working?
No, I'd use the same. Since the $5 ad sets, I'd use the same video throughout. It's just that if I'm targeting, say, people interested in marker board for one, chalkboard for another, then maybe erasers for a third, and
office supplies or something.
Office supplies, stuff like that. And then see which ones engage with the ad the most and take a lot of action. And from there, I'd kill what is not working and find similar interests to the ones that are working and move on from there.
Okay. Got it. Okay. That's good. So at the end of the day, there's ways that you can, test this out. And so even though you don't have the ability to say, this is the keyword I necessarily want on Facebook, you're getting you're trying to find the right people, because unlike Amazon, which is search based, so people are looking for dry erase marker, they're pretty much interested. You're trying to find the type of people who would be interested in dry erase markers because they're looking at cat photos and their friend's new baby, and you got to kind of you got to get their attention and stop the scroll, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay, got it. So what would be some hints for stopping the scroll? Because you don't have the captive audience that you do. Captive might not be the right word for search, where they're super interested, so they're super warm. These are people that might be warm, and you're just trying to get their attention so that they take an action, basically, right?
Yeah. So one is have a good thumbnail. Have a scroll stopping thumbnail.
Okay.
If you have that, that will draw the attention. And then your first 3 seconds, 3 to 5 seconds of your video should also be captivating. You should make them want to watch, at least 10 to 15 seconds of your video, or even the whole thing. So those are and your primary text, the ad copy. So if you have a good creative, sometimes you don't even need a good ad copy. It does everything by itself. But yeah, have a scroll stop and thumbnail.
Got it. Now, Facebook has gotten to be more and more restrictive, and their algorithm has gotten to be better and better at reading those images. So, and knowing what's in it, whether, and I don't just mean text, but just, what's there. So how do you balance especially for someone that might be starting out, because this could be kind of intimidating. And I speak as someone whose my Facebook ad account has been shut down multiple times for maximizing e-commerce. I always have gotten it back up.
Yeah.
Usually with an apology. It's the bot that sometimes like shut down right away.
Shut it
And then when
down.
I, say, hey, for a while I had like a form letter. And it's like, hey, blah, 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 blah. I want to work with Facebook, da, 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 try to be as polite as possible. And they always, responded quickly.
Yeah.
But, how do you balance that? Because somebody that might think, oh, this is going to be fine to put, before and after photos of weight loss, might get their account permanently banned. So like, how do you stay on top of all these changes on Facebook?
So remember I mentioned that the first niche attempt was the adult niche.
Yes.
It actually forced me to read the terms and policies.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's the first thing that I would say to anybody. Just make sure you read every single one of them and try to comply with those. But one way or the other, Facebook will still reject an ad occasionally, and you'd have to, get them to approve everything again. And so, yeah, but that's the first. Second, well, I just lost my train of thoughts.
Okay, so you just realize sometimes you got to stay on top of the policies. Sometimes things are going to get rejected.
Yeah,
that's just kind of par for the course.
And yeah, I follow different accounts on Twitter as well.
Okay,
and so yeah, I know, and on YouTube, so I know like changes that are happening.
Right.
And iOS 14 was a very big one, and on Twitter, everybody was talking about it, and a lot of people made videos about that as well. So I was able to stay in the loop, and
got it. So when Apple made changes to their policies, which affected Facebook, you were able to stay on top of it. It's kind of the same thing, I'm sure, for the people that are listening that are Amazon focused. They probably follow a lot of folks in the Amazon world. They're probably listening to this channel just because they have an interest in Amazon focused e-commerce, but also like to know about other stuff. So what as we kind of wrap this up here, what advice would you have for someone that might be looking to either start drop shipping or use drop shipping as a way to grow their current e-commerce business?
I'd say study the module like spend time studying the module, and be patient when things are not working out. And if possible, if you can afford a mentor, just go get a mentor, or just find someone on YouTube who has done it and who has sound principles, and follow their strategies. It's easy to switch from one strategy to another strategy to another strategy, trying to find what works, but it wouldn't always work out if you're testing multiple products. It's better to have one strategy and go all out or all in on that strategy.
Okay, great. So find something you like and just go with it. And I would agree with that too. Whether it's Amazon, drop shipping, wholesale, whatever. Whatever you're going to learn, cryptocurrency, follow somebody and just as long as they know what they're talking about, test it out. And if it doesn't work, you can always change it up later, but give it, fair way to do that. So, so for folks who maybe wanted to learn more from you and follow you, where would they go?
You could do a quick search, Lester Love Dropshipping on YouTube. You'd find me. But I'm on Instagram as I am Lester Love, and Twitter as I am Lester Love as well.
Got it. And we will link to your IG, your Twitter, and your YouTube channel if you're watching this on YouTube, it'll be in the description below. And for those who are listening to the audio podcast, you can always just check out the show notes, probably in the app that you're listening to this too. So this is interesting conversation. At the end of the day, you're buying something on the front end, whether it's attention or inventory. You chose to go I'm going to buy the attention route,
and then
figure out the customer journey from there, with buying the product and everything and then shipping it to the customer essentially. So this is it's been an interesting conversation, kind of has my mind going. So for folks, the Q4 is right around the corner as we record this, so maybe this could be a way folks could add some additional sales around the holidays if they wanted to give it a shot.
clearly.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, really appreciate having you on, Lester. This was a lot of fun.
Thank you. Can I say one more thing?
Sure, go for it.
So dropshipping really exposed me to the advertising world as a whole, and you don't really lose if for people that get into it and it doesn't really work out, they don't really lose because you'd have acquired different skills, an eye for product, an eye for advertising, and you could use those skills in different areas of life. Even advertising, you could even start a social media marketing agency to help other businesses as well, or link them to contractors out there, and build a business out of that. So that you really don't lose if you get into drop shipping or even Amazon FBA. There is no loss in there. It's just
I love that. I love that because at the end of the day, if you try something out, you're going to get some result and you're going to learn from that result, whether it's the result you wanted or the result you didn't. And there was something I heard the other day that really stuck out to me. I think it was a gentleman named Eddie Pinero said it. And he said, the future is a fairy tale. You choose whether it's going to be a good story or a bad story.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I love that.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Well, it was great having you on, Lester. And definitely recommend folks go check out your social channels and subscribe to you on YouTube.
All right. Thank you, Kevin.